Hi, Natalie.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. A little better than last week.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
I know we haven't seen each other in a little while, so I just kind of wanted to maybe start out and just say that we and talk about the stuff that we ended with last week, if that's fine with you.
Okay.
Um, we kind of talked a lot about just your feelings with breaking up with your boyfriend and how that was going. And then at the end, you had kind of told me that you had had an abortion and that he had suggested it. And I wanted to see how you were feeling about that and letting me know that because I know you hadn't told anybody before that.
Yeah. I mean, it was a little hard to talk about it just because, like you just said, I hadn't really, you know, really said it out loud to anyone yet. Um, but it felt better since, like I've just been dealing with that myself to actually like say it to someone since, only like him and me knew about it.
Yeah, it definitely can be helpful to kind of let things out. And over the week, you felt the same way.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. It was still like hard to deal with, but like I was happy that I had gotten to like tell someone.
Okay, that's good to know. And I just wanted to see if you had kind of talked to anybody else about it during the week because I know you didn't get to see me until now. So that can kind of be a long time again.
Mm-mm.
No.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't tell anyone else. No.
Okay. And that's okay. You seem like you're really anxious about that and the
Yeah,
thought
I
of
mean,
it.
it's just hard not being able to talk to anyone because like I still haven't talked to him. I didn't really try to like get in contact with him this past week, but I mean, it is, still hard like trying to keep it in most days because it's like all I think about.
Hmm. So you didn't try to get
No,
in contact?
not in the past week. No,
Okay.
I think like being able to tell some like one other person about it, like it kind of like didn't like feel so much like I had to talk to him, but like I still want to.
Okay. Did it feel okay not trying to contact him, or did you feel like you were trying to push yourself not to?
Yeah, I was definitely trying to push myself not to. But I mean, at the same time, like if I had, he wouldn't have answered anyway. So I would have just either been like stopping myself from doing it like I did, or like had just been like rejected still. So
Okay. So maybe the thought of being rejected kind of kept you
yeah,
pushing on.
yeah, because I felt like really bad. The past like probably like 3 or 4 weeks when he just hasn't been answering me at all. Like so, I mean, it still really sucked, but I wasn't gonna get an answer anyway.
Okay. Do you still feel like you said you still feel like you want to talk to him?
Yeah, I mean, I just it. I don't know. Everything just ended so quickly after all that happened, and like I don't think it's fair that that's how it happened to me.
Yeah.
Like I did what he wanted to do, what he asked me to do. Like I mean, I didn't even have time to think if that was what I wanted to do. I'm sure it would have been, but like I didn't even have a say in it. And then he just stopped talking to me.
Do you feel like there's certain things that you really want to say to him? Is there some sort of questions you want to ask, or is there just kind of this, like you're saying to me right now, like, why did you go? I did what you asked.
Um, I don't know. I feel like I don't even know what I would end up saying to him if he actually answered, but I just like kind of want to know why like he did this and why he just kind of like abandoned me after that. Like, it's not like I had like a million other people to go tell about this, like, because we kind of like agreed to like keep it private, but you can't ask me to keep something private and then be the only one who knows and then just not ever talk to me.
Mm. Do you feel like it sounds like you're kind of having a hard time with that, and not like you said you haven't told anybody, and then there's this feeling that you were supposed to kind of keep it a secret between you and him, but he kind of left his end of the bargain to
Yeah,
some
he did.
extent.
Yeah, I mean, I needed someone. I'm only like 18. Like, I needed someone there for me. I have no one else. So, and then he just left. And like it wasn't like his body or anything. Like he didn't have to go through that. So it was just so easy for him to just stop talking to me after that.
It sounds like there's a lot of things that you kind of want to say to him, but also you're kind of talking a lot about how maybe you're feeling about it, kind of underlying.
Yeah.
And have you or do you want to tell me a little bit how you feel about the whole thing? If you would have decided that, you said you think you would have, but you're not sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, when I found out, I was really scared. And I mean, I had missed like 2 periods. So then, I told him, and we got a test. Like, I didn't really want a lot of people to know I was doing that. Like, I don't want, it's no one's business really. And then, we found I was pregnant. So he pretty much was like, well, we need to take care of this. Like, we'll get you an abortion. I don't know. Like, I just was like, okay, if that's what you want me to do, like, and he said that's what he wanted, so we went like a few days later, um, and we got it done, and he was like, let's just keep this between us, like, no one else needs to know about it. I'll be here for you. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. And then, like, literally just started, like, ignoring me completely. Like, within, like, 2 days, just stopped talking to me, stopped responding to me, wouldn't answer my calls, like, I was like a psycho. But I mean, like, I had just gone through something, like, something that was a big deal, and then he just stopped answering.
It is a really big deal. And do you feel like you've taken the time to, because I know you just said what had happened and what it was like, but you kind of had him there through it in that time. Do you have certain feelings on that, how you felt through it, or?
I mean, I was really scared, and like I said, like, I didn't really, have like a lot of time to think like if it was what I wanted to do. And I mean, I'm young, like, I wouldn't have wanted to have a kid, but like, it would have been nice to have like talked about it more,
Yeah.
to be able to see if there was, what we should do. Like I said, like, I probably would have wanted to do the same thing, but I felt like it was just like decided right from the get go, like, nope, we need to get rid of this. And then, like, I don't know, that's just sad.
Yeah, it sounds like there wasn't a lot of conversation or discussion. Really, it was you're
It was
pregnant.
his choice, yeah. And I mean, I guess it's kind of my fault because I just like let him talk me into it without really trying to like stand up for myself. But I really didn't know what else I would do. Like, what if I had said like, no, I want to keep the baby, and then he just, like, he probably would have left too, anyways, and then I'd be stuck alone, pregnant at college, and no one wanted to be friends with me, and my life would be ruined. So I don't know. I figured I would do this and take care of it, and then we'd be like fine and together, and I wouldn't have to deal with this alone. But
Sounds like either way, it seems like it can be a really tough decision to make when things like this happen.
yeah, and I guess like I figured if I just did this, like, I wouldn't end up alone, and then I am alone, and it's not like an easy thing to go just have done. And apparently to him, he thinks it's, not a big deal.
No, it's definitely not an easy thing for most people. Some people can walk away and be totally okay with it. But most of the time, people have a lot of discussion and conversation and see the options. And I know that's something that I feel like you.
It didn't happen.
Yeah, and I feel like there's still options now, though. Do you know that we can talk about it in here? That we can go and talk to other girls who have had abortions as well, um, just to see how their experience was, how they felt about it, and just everything that kind of goes along with it to see what you're actually feeling. Because I know you haven't really had the time to really sit and think about that. You might be more thinking about how to talk to your boyfriend or your ex as of right now. Does that sound like something that you like want to do, or is that kind of like too soon to think about?
I would want to do that probably in the future. I don't know if it's too soon now, but I mean, I do want to talk to other people who like went through this, because I feel like that's like, I mean, none of my friends at school, like, granted, I don't know for sure, but like, I'm pretty sure none of them had an abortion in the past, or just had one like a month ago and know what I feel like. So I feel awful.
Yeah, because you kind of had said that before when I asked about if you had talked to anybody that you hadn't really, and that you're not sure how you'd even kind of go about that to some extent. Um, and I know it can be difficult, especially to just approach friends, even if they're close, and
Yeah.
say something like this. It kind of can be easier for some people to talk to somebody who's a little bit outside of their friends, so it can be a little bit removed, but you can actually see the other person's experience and
Yeah.
see what's different, what's similar, and what you're going through. Maybe be able to express it a little bit more.
Mhm.
So maybe that's like an option down the road that we can look into some sort of group or.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
You know, it may seem a little bit overwhelming right now, because I know you still have just told me.
Mm-hmm.
So for now, it's definitely we can talk about it, and just kind of go through your feelings and sift through them. And I know that seems to be the biggest thing that you're concerned about is talking to your boyfriend or your ex and seeing, or just even letting out some emotions or letting out kind of your feelings in that way. And I was thinking if you wanted to maybe write a letter, if that had crossed your mind.
No, I didn't even think to do that.
Okay. Because I'm thinking we could approach it, or you could approach it in that the way that you could call him again, but that seems to be something he's not comfortable with, or he's not answering.
Yeah.
And that's fine if he doesn't want to do that. But maybe we could have you write a letter, and even if he doesn't receive it, or you don't send it, or however you want to go about it, we can. But that might be an option, and at least you could have it off your mind and kind of say what you need to say and articulate that into some of the words on the paper. Does that sound like?
Yeah, I think I should do that because I feel like I have all this stuff in my head that I want to say to him, but I haven't said it out loud. And it's like a lot of stuff because I'm like really hurt, but I'm also really angry at him.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, he made the baby too. I didn't make it by myself.
Yeah.
And it should be hard for him too to just like, you know, kill a baby. It should have been just as hard for him as it was for me.
And maybe it is for him, and maybe this is his way of dealing with it. But I think what's important in here is for you to be able to express how you're feeling and let those emotions out. So I think it would be a great exercise for you to go home this week and maybe write out the letter. You can draft it however many times you want. And if you want to send it, I think that's a great option. I do want to let you know that he might not respond or reciprocate at all, or he might not respond in the way you'd like him to. And I know that sometimes can be really difficult.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Yeah. But for you, it might be good, or if you think it is, just to get it off your chest, if that might be enough. Do you think it would be enough? Because I know you said a lot.
Yeah, I want to put it all out there first and then decide if I want to send it or not.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you know, I don't know if I want to I want to write it all down just to like be able to get things off my chest, but I don't know if I want to like send it if like he's not going to answer again because I don't know how much more times I can, you know, do that.
Yeah, it can be tough. And especially just writing this letter, I don't want you to feel like, oh, he totally is going to answer or anything like that either. But I think you seem to kind of understand that he might not and he hasn't been. But it definitely could be helpful for you. So I kind of wanted to switch gears a little bit and just kind of go and talk about your family.
Okay.
So I know you had said that you were pretty close with your mom, but she kind of has her own thing that's going on. She dates a lot of people, but
yeah.
You definitely didn't feel comfortable talking to her about what was going on right now.
Well, because, like, first of all, I obviously told her we broke up or that we stopped talking, but I didn't really tell her everything that was going on because she was wondering why. I wasn't answering her calls for like a week, and then I finally had to answer her. And, I told her I hadn't been going to class, and I just, like, hadn't been doing well, hadn't been getting out of bed. She asked why, and I didn't want to just tell her, so I just told her we broke up, and she just, like, I don't know, just, like, even growing up, she's always had so many boyfriends, and it didn't bother her if things ended. Most of the time, she was breaking up with them. So when she found out that we broke up, it was just kind of like, oh, well, get over it. You're young. You'll find someone new. And, like, I don't know, I just didn't feel even comfortable, like, telling her, like, about all that.
That can be tough when it's a response like that and it's something that's
Yeah,
a
like, she's
little
supposed
bit
to be
more.
my mom. She, like, sometimes doesn't act like it. Just like your friend would be like, oh, it's no big deal. You'll find a new guy. She, like, she's dated, like, more people than all my friends combined. It's, like, ridiculous. And I mean, she's been with this last guy now for a while, but I don't know, she just has, like, no, like, concept of, like, being attached to someone and, like, just doesn't get it.
Yeah, sounds like you feel like she would have no idea what you're kind of going through or the feelings that you have felt for this previous boyfriend.
I don't think she'd get it. I mean, yeah, she just would tell me to get over it. And I don't know if she reacted the same way about, like, the abortion. I don't even know what I would do. But, like, yeah, I don't know.
Have you talked to her about stuff that's really important to you before this that aren't oriented around relationships?
I mean, like, I've always been, like, pretty open with her, but I guess, like, that's because she's always been kind of open with me, and, like, she does act like a mom sometimes, but a lot of the time she kind of just acts more like a friend. So, like, I've told her things growing up, like, like, when I had sex and stuff, I've told her. We're, like, pretty open about it, just, like, I don't know, I feel like the support I get from her is, like, a friend and not, like, a mom.
Maybe in this instance you feel like you need more of a mom figure.
Yeah.
Especially considering what was going on and maybe the feeling of loss that you're.
Yeah, and then, I don't know, like, I don't know, I feel like just certain things I've just never been able to even talk to her about. Like, and I feel like this is just one of them. I just don't know. I don't even know how she would handle this. Like, if she'd be, like, mad at me or if she'd be, like, upset. Like, I don't know.
It does seem that she's concerned though still. Because she didn't drop it, right? Because you kind of came here.
Yeah, I mean, she, like, kind of urged me to come here. She obviously cares. I know she cares. I just feel like, I don't know, like, I wish I felt like I could have talked to her, but instead, like, I don't know. Like, instead of, like, her trying to, like, talk to me and figure it out, she was like, oh, you should just go to therapy. So you need to talk to someone. Like,
yeah. Do you almost feel like she put you off onto somebody else?
I mean, kind of. And, like, part of me is, like, I mean, I know how she is. I know what I would want to tell her and what I wouldn't. So, like, part of me is glad that she did, so I had someone to tell. But at the same time, like, I don't know. She could have, like, kind of dug a little harder to see what was really going on or, like, asked more, but she didn't.
It sounds like you would want to tell her if it came down to it and if she made the kind of right approach to the whole
topic. I feel like I, like, kind of need to tell her. Like, that's a big deal. I mean, she might not always be, like, the best mom, but she still is my mom. And, like, I don't know. It's, like, a big thing.
Yeah. Do you think that's something that you'd want to work on here? Is maybe an approach to tell her, and we can look at the different angles that it could end up being?
I don't know how soon I'd be able to, though. I feel like I want to, like, be, like, okay with it first and not, I mean, and be able to, like, be normal again and actually get out of bed and, like, start going to all my classes and be happy. And then I feel like if I was in a better place, I'd be able to tell her. Whereas I feel like if I told her right now and it like didn't go well, and she got mad at me about it too, to have her be mad at me for it and him not talking to me, and like all of that would just be too much.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that's something that down the road we can look at, look into, and see the different ways that she could maybe approach it, and maybe the good ways that you want her to react to it, and maybe the potential scary or bad outcomes of it, and then kind of just seeing how you feel about telling her once you've become a little bit more comfortable with what's gone on and you're feeling a little bit better about the whole situation.
No.
Okay. But I just wanted to say, we're coming to the end today, and I think we talked about a lot. So I just kind of wanted to go over and say, so you're going to do the letter over the week, and kind of just see how you feel about that. You can definitely call me if anything brings up any emotions or anything that's really you're struggling with. And then just kind of trying to take every day a step at a time. Just seeing how you feel about things and it's really hitting you and what you're getting a little bit more comfortable or okay with. And also, I think that will probably be it for now for this week because that seems like a lot. And then next week we can talk a little bit more about what the letter was like and if you have been in contact with your ex and how things are going. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. So I'll see you next week.
Okay. See you.